Hey everybody, welcome to TIW Podcast. I'm Eric, and today I watched Survivor: Edge of Extinction Episode 4. Spoilers ahoy, if you don't want to find out what happened in this episode yet, then stop listening and go watch it. It's a good one. Um, so, let's just get right into it. Um, I tried recording this episode already, and I'm going to keep this short because I ended up going like 5 minutes talking about all this. Talking about the CBS All Access app. That's how I watched the show, and I recommend it. Check it out. It's really good, and we're getting new Twilight Zone. The new Twilight Zone is coming only on the CBS All Access app very soon. I don't know when exactly it comes out. So if you like Survivor, if you're a Survivor fan, you gotta get CBS All Access. You have all of the episodes of Survivor. Just use coupon code. I'm just kidding. This is not a sponsorship or anything like that. I'm just letting you know. I think this is the best way to watch it. Well, of course, you could just watch it over the air because it's on broadcast television or the free networks. But anyway, I think you can. Oh, whoops. I think you can also just watch it on the regular website without subscribing. Maybe, just like the most recent couple of episodes. I'm not sure about that though. Okay, so. Oh, okay. This episode, man. The original people of Manu, however you pronounce that. These people are freaking idiots. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're not voting off returning players. You are idiots. Every single person that's voted off from Manu deserves to have been voted off so far because they're idiotic for not getting rid of David or Kelly. Let me just start with that right there. And I just had to laugh so hard at everything that happened this episode to the people of Manu. And because we got the tribe swap, we're now down to three, or it got split into three tribes. So let's go through that just real quick. Everybody from Manu ended up on the new green tribe, Lesu, except for Wendy, who was the odd person out of that 6-person tribe. So yeah, they're blessed to be all together on a tribe, to stick together, except that they still suck. And they lose the immunity challenge, and they have to go to tribal yet again, and they have to send another person off the island, unknowingly sending them all to the same place. They're all ending up on Edge of Extinction, and the animosity there is growing every single vote off. And I hope this continues. This would be amazing if Edge of Extinction continues to be original Manu tribe members. So last week we saw that Chris, who was voted off, joins them. Reem and Keith both hate this guy, and they kind of hate each other too. Well, Reem hates Keith. I think it's pretty obvious that she's sick of everything. But we have that going on, and we'll get to actually who joins them. So I spoiled that Lesu tribe loses this challenge. But before we get there, four of them go over to Manu. So they end up with Wendy over on the camp where all the chickens are. So that's a lot of fun in this episode. And let's see. So the people who move over there are Aubrey, Eric, Victoria, and Gavin. Some of these people I'm still learning their names. I can kind of match up who they are now that they're in smaller chunks of people. And we get a little bit more screen now that we have to get a little bit of screen time from all three tribes. So there's a higher percentage of seeing each person from that tribe. Anyway, the people who remain on Kama, which I label on my chart, my personal chart here as K2, are Joe, Julia, Ron, Aurora, and Julie. So this tribe, this now comma 2 is continues to dominate. We have 2 immunity idols up for grabs now in the immunity challenge. The first ones to win the challenge is the Kama tribe. And then once they finished, they started cheering for Manu. I was like, oh, that's weird. Oh, right. Almost all of them are their tribe mates. Of course they want them to win. So they just keep dominating original Manu. So Manu gets second place, and so that sends 5 of the original Manu over to tribal as their new tribe, Lesu, over to tribal council. And I thought that was, I just had to laugh. I was rooting for that to happen, and it's kind of amazing. Except that they're friggin' idiots, and they're not getting rid of these people who are, at this point, they're not, it's not, there's no advantage to keep them around. The only time that it's good for them to be around is like the first day. And then after that, get rid of them. Get them out of there. Idiots. Okay. So before we get to tribal council, Wendy, she has these 4 new tribe mates, and they're like pretty quickly get to talking about the chickens, and she is not happy about that. So nightfall comes, everybody's asleep, and she goes and lets out all the chickens, and everybody knows that it's her that did it. And if they didn't know already, then when they're like, well, we should go try to catch all the chickens again, and she's like, no, don't do it. It's like, yeah, you let them out. It's super obvious. I thought it was hilarious that like afterwards during the day, the next day, she's like trying to shoo the chickens away because they're still like hanging around. It's like, I'm trying to save you. Shut up. They're going to hear you. I like Wendy a lot. I'm still rooting for her. She has if this gameplay gets her to the end and then she wins, that would be absolutely amazing. I don't even know how that would, how she would win. I don't know, but I want it to happen. Anyway, so things are not right over in Lesu as they love each other so much. They have to get rid of one of each other. How about the new people realize that you have 2 returnees on a tribe of 5 and not a single vote for either of them? How insane is that? How stupid can you be? I have no sympathy for anybody on this tribe that gets voted off at this point. None. Even if it's one of the returnees, David or Kelly, because they should have a target on their back. Stupid. 2 votes for Lauren. She does not play her idol. She smartly doesn't play her idol. She didn't need to play it because 3 votes went to Rick Devens, and he is voted off, and he decides to go to Edge of Extinction. And the people there, he's familiar with them, and they're not too thrilled to see him. Or maybe they are thrilled, but they're not thrilled with having to be around him. So, yeah, things are getting interesting. This stuff on Edge of Extinction, it's kind of giving me like an early seasons of Survivor feel. That there's, I don't know, maybe it's the people who are there or like the bare bones quality of it. I am just really liking it. It's giving me that original Survivor feel. And I still have no idea. I still think that we're going to see one of them join again at the merge, and then a second round of Edge of Extinction, except this time they know it's happening, so that it's going to change the strategy of voting people off and stuff again. And that would make sense for the number of episodes that there are, because normally we have 20 tribe mates, but if we get 2 people who return to the game, that makes the 18 make more sense, I think. But of course, people could get injured or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, things are going to get real interesting, especially Leisu's gonna lose again. They're not gonna swap tribes again so soon. It's gonna be at least another, at least one more episode before they go back to like 2 tribes. I think. If they even go back to, they have to go back to 2 tribes. If Leisu loses again next week. Because 5-5-3 does not work, but 5-5 or like 6 versus 7 that works. Okay, now is it 6 versus 7? 5-5-3. Yeah, it would be 6 and 7. But yeah, we'll see. Lauren still has her idol. Aubrey still has hers, but that doesn't even matter because 9 out of the 15 people still in the game still haven't been to a tribal council. That's kind of crazy. The people on Edge of Extinction there's an equal number of people on Edge of Extinction as there are on the Leisu tribe right now. And they were all originally on the same tribe. That's very funny. My pick. Okay, I said that I would pick somebody new for the new tribes. So my number 1 pick, now that my comma number 1 pick is moved over to the same team as my new number 1 pick, I've got to pick 2 new people to be rooting for. And so I think let's see, comma, we haven't really gotten to know any of them. It's Joe, Julia, Ron, Aurora, and Julie. And all of those people except for Joe, I had to pay close attention to to match that person up with their name. Because I don't know anything about any of these people at all. So out of those 5, I've got to pick Joe. Just because he's the only one I know right now. I reserve my right to change that pick once we actually do get to know these people a little bit more. And picking between Aubrey and Wendy, I got to root for Wendy out of those 2. Just because she's so much fun to watch. She's bonkers. I love it. And then we had like her talking to David before the tribe swip, and she was like, "Oh, I haven't even told you my master plan yet. Oh, should I tell you? Maybe not." And David's like, "What is this girl talking about? She's lost her mind." So that leaves the 5, or now 4. I can't pick Rick Devens, Anchorman, for my pick yet. Or I guess I could. Not that I don't want to. I don't want to pick him, though. And that's the thing. If one of my picks gets eliminated, they do still have a chance. So, yeah. Let's see. David, War Dog, Kelly, and Lauren. I'm definitely not rooting for Kelly. That's another thing about this episode especially. See, she's like complaining a lot in the manner that somebody who's playing for the first time, you'd expect somebody from playing for the first time would. Like, oh, it's so hard about food. Like, that's not my impression of her, but like that attitude. So yeah, get her out. Why is she still in the game? Why haven't they voted her out? Everybody's lost their minds. Ugh. Okay. Let's see. I think War Dog was the only one who voted for Lauren along with Rick. I think that might be why he kissed him on his head. And his I was about to say kiss him on his face. And he kissed the top of his head as he left. Man. So it's definitely not Kelly. David, he said straight up this episode, not that I would choose him anyway, but is like it wasn't about winning for me. Like my life is better just for being in the game for other reasons. So it's like, why would we want you to win after you admit that it's like you're happy with not winning? So that leaves Wardog and Lauren. Lauren's having a really tough time. She's like not eating and stuff. She's about how awful she feels and everything. I think if she turns that around, she could become my pick. So by default, Wardog, he's playing the game the hardest out of all these four, except that he's an idiot and voted out Chris instead of voting out David or Kelly last week. That was the most idiotic thing. Should have gotten out Wentworth. God, Chris would have been like, if Chris was in the place of Kelly right here, Chris would be my number one pick on green, on Lesu, hands down. Man, they're doing it to themselves. They're asking for it by not voting out the returnees, and they're just letting them. Why? What is the advantage? What is the advantage? Do they think that taking the returnee to the end, that people would be like, oh, they're returned, we shouldn't vote for them? Well, that doesn't matter if they don't like you. If people don't want you to win more than they don't want them to win, that's as much of a thing as getting people to want you to win. If that makes sense, kind of. If you're seen as just the biggest idiot for never getting rid of this returning player, and then they're going to vote for the returning player to win, and that's man, it's getting me riled up, and I think that's it's a successful season so far. That's getting me, getting my blood pumping about it. And hopefully somebody wises up to all of the. I think the original Kama tribe would have had absolutely no problem, but if they had even lost a single immunity challenge yet, they absolutely would have gotten rid of Joe or Aubrey already. Like episode 1, they would have gotten rid of one of them. I'm convinced of that. So it gives me faith in everybody from that tribe. But Manu, they're just doing it. They're just doing it to themselves. What are you doing? If you have a weak tribe, if you have weak people in your tribe and you have returning players in your tribe, keep around the weak players so you can get rid of those returning players ASAP. Like, they should have seen that as an advantage, losing those first couple of tribal councils. Get rid of these people that shouldn't be here. They already had their chance. Let's give all of us a chance. Oh, Reem is annoying. She's so much like a mom. Or I forget if that's what it was. No, get rid of David. Get rid of Kelly. They've already had their chances. Kelly's had 2 chances. Okay, that's enough. That's enough, I think. I'm excited to see what happens next week. And so I'll see you. I'll have an episode about that then. Let me know what you thought about this season so far by tweeting me at TIW Podcast. Go to TIWpodcast.com for more reviews. If you enjoyed this episode or anything else on the site, please share some links with your friends. Subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you listen to podcasts. And I'll be back, like I said, next week for episode 5 of Survivor Edge of Extinction. This has been TIW Podcast. Thanks for listening. Bye.